have the 4-hour price chart for Tesla Incorporated, stock ticker TSLA. So as we can see here, Tesla is largely tracking some of the positive activity that's currently occurring in the market. We're seeing a bit of upside movements here and broadly in the technology space. NVIDIA is bouncing higher. We're seeing similar movements in Microsoft and Apple. So it does stand to reason here that we would be seeing some slight upward movement here, although the gains have not been significant. Let's say that. So we can currently point to these current price highs from the most recent trading period, which come in at 234.68, and this sort of forms the upper end of the current trading range. While to the downside, what we're really looking at here is 215.30, roughly to the downside. So, this does sort of create a kind of a sideways trading range here. And we will drill down into the lower term timeframes here to get a better look at this price action. So as we can see here, this is the hourly chart. We can see that this trading range is now kind of developing at some somewhat lower levels. We have not quite filled this price gap here, which did occur after Tesla released its own earnings report. And this is significant because it does suggest that we could see a continued move to the top side here. We can sort of drill in here to get some more exact price zones, so we can see some potential trading outlooks here. Currently prices are trading just above the 230 mark, but in order for us to fill this entire price gap, we would need to see prices move above 247.50. As we can see here, there is still a large gap that has not been filled yet in this share price. So overall, we are seeing some upward movement, and we are currently trading at near the upper end of the trading range. But there are still some levels that need to be broken here in order to move higher. So we do need to look at those specifically. But if we are able to break some key levels here, we could see, roughly a break of the 247.50 level, and then that would call into question whether or not we will be able to breach 250. So specifically what I'm looking at here to the top side does come in at a roughly 234.40. The reason I kind of point to this area here is because it does match the prior high, which came in during the July 29 trading session. And we're also seeing this 100-hour exponential moving average roughly fall in line with this area. So what I'm pointing to here is this purple kind of descending line here. That would be the 100-hour exponential moving average. As we can see here, we have already broken through several other moving averages. That would be this blue line, the yellow line, and the orange line. The blue line would be the 200-hour EMA. The yellow line would be the 20-hour exponential moving average. And then the orange line would be the 50-hour exponential moving average. So, we did see a bit of a price gap here to start the trading session. A lot of this price movement here is being based on, prior earnings results that have been released already this week. We did see some fairly positive numbers from Microsoft, as well as AMD, Advanced Micro Devices. This is the Ryzen CPU manufacturer. So, we did see some small, not these weren't massively positive numbers here, but, there was some encouraging evidence here. For example, AMD, the earnings per share figure came in at 69 cents. Market expectations were calling for 68 cents. So, the news here seems to be more based on the fact that it was not a negative rather than it was a significant major positive. We can see that the technology space as a whole has started to move higher on this news. And this does seem to be a bit of a relief rally here now that we have, sort of completed the last 2 or 3 weeks, which has mostly been characterized by significant downside price moves. And we're talking about Mag 7 stocks here. We're not talking about, small cap companies or anything like that. NVIDIA, Microsoft, and Apple are just to name a few. Meta Platforms also had significant price movements to the downside. So, overall, initially Tesla did manage to hold up fairly well in the face of broader selling pressure. But this most recent earnings release from Tesla was not received favorably, and this is how we saw this price gap lower. So currently, this is a major earnings week, and this is for the technology space, and we do need to point out some of these events here because they will be significant. As I said, yesterday was the Microsoft earnings release as well as AMD. But going forward here, we also have to watch for Apple, Amazon.com, and Meta Platforms are all releasing earnings this week. So this is going to be a very important, trading period here for the technology space. I think that most people are kind of, maybe neglecting what's going on currently. Um, Summer trading period, maybe many people are not as interested as they would normally be. But I do think that this is going to be sort of a sleeper time period here where, a lot of information gets released in a very short period of time. And then this probably will kind of determine the trading trajectory for the technology space here going forward. One other note that we need to point out here is the fact that we are starting to see some rising trading volumes with Tesla. We have seen a bit of a decline here more recently, but overall the averages here in terms of trading volumes are exceeding what was being seen roughly during the sort of middle of June would be the end point, and then the beginning would be sort of the second half of April. During this time period, we were seeing very subdued trading volumes, so much less interest in the market, but we're starting to see this come back now, as we can see here in the trading volumes themselves. And this does suggest that we could see some substantial price moves here relatively soon. So, given the fact that we are trading within a very important earnings period, it does stand to reason that we're likely to see a breakout here in one direction or another. So just kind of quickly one more time, I'll just look at this this trading range here. Let's actually go down to the 30-minute chart. Okay, so here we can see that Tesla, for the most part, has been trading in a bit of this sideways consolidation following this major price gap here. So this is a bit of a strange price movement because normally you would see this price gap filled a bit more quickly, but it does appear that the market is looking for some broader direction. And as we can see here, the underlying trend momentum is still positive to be found in the relative strength index. So I am expecting to see a topside break here. If we do see a break of this roughly 234.40 level, I would expect to see some follow through here with at least this upside price gap being filled closer to the 250 mark. So here's the current market analysis for Tesla Incorporated, stock ticker TSLA. Our high value trading strategies membership is currently available for a limited time for only $9.99 per month. These high conviction investment strategies are characterized by superior risk to reward metrics that target massive market beating returns over time. Join now to outperform the market. Lock in this special introductory rate of just $9.99 per month for the entire lifetime of your membership and start trading stocks with the pros.